The forest clearing had gone silent. The ground where Ajaniku had been swallowed still trembled faintly, as if the earth itself was breathing. The villagers who had witnessed the horror earlier were gone, most of them hiding behind mud huts and palm trees at the edge of the village, but the forest remembered. In the center of the clearing lay the wooden coffin where Monarchy had been buried. At first, nothing moved, then, a finger twitched. Inside the coffin, Monarchy's dirt-covered hand shifted slightly against the wood. Dust floated in the still air. Slowly, painfully, one finger called, "Life." Returning, beneath her brown shirt, a faint red glow paused from the strange mark on her chest. Thump, 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 the mark glowed brighter. Suddenly her eyes snapped open, but they were no longer human. They were pale white, empty, glowing faintly without pupils. Monarchy stared upward without blinking, her face completely emotionless. The forest wind began to whisper. Behind the coffin, the shadows thickened, dark smoke crept across the ground like living roots. Slowly it began twisting together, forming a towering shape, branches, vines, and smoke binding into something ancient, the devourer spirit, its molten orange eyes burned through the fog. Monarchy sat upright in the coffin, but the movement was wrong, too stiff, too controlled, like a puppet pulled by invisible strings. She slowly climbed out of the coffin, her bare feet touching the red earth. No footprints followed her steps. She stood there silently, staring forward with those lifeless white eyes. Behind her, the devourer spirit rose higher, its massive shadow stretching across the clearing like a dark guardian. Then something else happened. Near the coffin, scattered across the soil, lay the broken blue stones from Ajaneku's shattered staff. At first they were dull. Then one of them flickered. A faint blue glow returned, another spark followed. Soon the shattered stones began glowing brighter, sending tiny blue lights floating upward into the air like drifting fireflies. The spirit's orange eyes flickered toward them. Monarchy did not move, but somewhere beneath the earth, the soil bulged again. The same place where Ajanaku had been swallowed began to tremble harder. The ground lifted slightly, as if something below was pushing upward, watching, waiting. In the distance, terrified villagers peeked from behind palm trees and mud huts. They saw Monarchy walking slowly across the clearing. Her steps were silent, her glowing white eyes stared straight ahead, and she left no footprints in the red earth. The morning fog rolled through the village like a warning. The devourer spirit followed behind her like a living shadow. Something terrible had awakened, and deep beneath the trembling soil, something else was beginning to rise.